All right, let's talk about enterprise AI governance. I know, it sounds super complicated, but it really boils down to one simple idea: making sure that this incredible new tool for innovation doesn't accidentally become your company's biggest headache. So let's break down how to get it right. To really get where we're headed, we've got to look back for a second. Think about the last 10 years or so. Remember shadow IT? When every employee was signing up for their own cloud apps, using whatever tools they wanted, and creating this massive, invisible IT problem? Remember that feeling of just losing control? Well, guess what? It's back. And this time, it's on a whole other level. Yup, we are seeing a pattern that is eerily familiar. But trust me, the stakes this time around are so much higher. What we used to call shadow IT back in the cloud era, well, it's evolved. We're now in the age of shadow AI. You've got well-meaning employees just trying to do their jobs better, using all these incredibly powerful AI tools. And most of the time, there's zero oversight. We've got a huge unmanaged risk growing right under our noses. But here's the thing, this isn't just a simple sequel to an old problem. The reason we need to talk about governance so urgently is because shadow AI, it's a completely different and, frankly, a much more dangerous beast. So why is it a bigger threat? Well, it really comes down to three things: scale, variety, and just insane speed. For every one use case we had for a cloud app, there are 100 for AI. There's a flood of new AI vendors popping up every week. And the pace of change, it is absolutely breathtaking. The old playbook we used for the cloud, it's just not going to cut it anymore. And that new playbook is AI governance. Let's just be really clear on what we mean by that. It's a formal framework, right? It's about getting the right people, the right processes, and the right tech all on the same page. And the goal is to make sure AI is used responsibly, and, this is key, that it's actually helping the company hit its goals. This is about enabling innovation safely, not shutting it down. So what happens if you don't have this kind of framework? These consequences aren't just some what-if scenarios. They're happening right now in companies that probably look a lot like yours. Let's dive into some real-world horror stories. Okay, first up, picture a sales team, just trying to be more efficient. They upload their entire pricing spreadsheet to a public AI model, and in a single click, years of sensitive, competitive data. We're talking discount history, profit margins, special corporate rates. It's all out there. Gone. Or how about this one? An employee asks an AI assistant like Copilot a simple question. The AI does its job. It goes hunting for the answer and finds it in a 4-year-old document buried in some SharePoint folder nobody's touched in years. And just like that, old, sensitive, and probably wrong information is suddenly back in play. Then you have this mess. An AI tool is asked to research something, and it merges your top-secret internal product designs with publicly available info about your competitors. What you get back is this: toxic, confusing, hybrid document that could lead to some absolutely terrible business decisions. And finally, think about this. All those old file sharing links you've sent over the years? An AI tool finds one that's still active from a project that ended last year and happily summarizes everything inside. All those forgotten permissions, they're basically active security breaches just waiting to happen. And this is the most important point. These are not hypotheticals, this isn't fear-mongering, these are real governance failures leading to massive data leaks, and they are happening every single day. Okay, so the problem is big, it's scary, I get it, but it is manageable. So let's pivot to the solution. Let's talk about the blueprint for how you can actually regain control. The absolute first pillar of your blueprint is a governance committee. And no, this is not just another meeting to add to the calendar. This is a dedicated team with real teeth. Their job is to assign who gets to make AI decisions, oversee the entire data architecture, decide which AI projects get the green light, and make damn sure everything lines up with regulations and your company's values. The second pillar is lifecycle management. All that really means is you create a formal process for every single AI idea. No more random projects popping up. From the moment someone requests a new tool, to assessing if it's even a good idea, to tracking it all the way through. And, just as important, having a plan to retire old AI models when they're past their prime. Now, putting this all together can feel like a huge task, I know, but you can break it down into 4 pretty manageable steps. First, just figure out where you are today. Be honest. Second, build the structure. Get that committee, write those policies. Third, streamline how you evaluate new projects. And finally, and this is a big one, never stop improving. This has to be a living process. Now, everything we've discussed so far kind of applies to AI in general, but then there's generative AI.
the tech behind tools like ChatGPT and Gemini. And this stuff introduces a totally unique set of challenges that it changes the entire game.
So what is actually different? Why can't we just dust off our old data security rules and apply them to these new tools? Well, the answer is all about how Gen AI plays with our data. And this table here just lays it out perfectly. In the old world, we worried about structured things, right? Databases, records, neat little boxes. With Gen AI, we have to control unstructured stuff, like what a user types into a prompt or what file they upload. The focus shifts from making sure data is accurate to preventing data exposure. The biggest risk isn't a server breach anymore. It's a simple copy-paste. You don't just need to see file owners, you need to understand context and what people are actually trying to do. And that brings us to maybe the single most important point of this whole discussion. The relationship is direct and it is brutal. If your data is a chaotic, ungoverned mess, any AI model you use with it will be dangerously unpredictable. Simple as that.
Okay, we've hit the problem, we've seen the cautionary tales, and we've walked through the blueprint for a solution. So how do you actually start this conversation inside your own company? Let me give you a really simple, powerful tool.
In your very next meeting on this topic, I want you to use this framework. It's incredibly simple and it works. Clearly state the problem. We have unmanaged shadow AI creating massive risks. Present the solution, a governance framework with a committee and lifecycle management. And then show them the benefit. We protect our company jewels, we unlock safe innovation, and we get a huge leg up on the competition. So, we'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. AI is, without a doubt, the greatest innovation engine of our lifetime. But without the right controls, it could easily become your single biggest unmanaged risk. The choice of which it will be for your organization, well, that choice is being made right now, whether you're paying attention or not.